Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's such a privilege to have you guys here today for this NeoLife product training session. Whether you're brand new to NeoLife or you've been sharing our products for years, today's session is about strengthening our confidence, sharpening our knowledge, and deepening our understanding of what makes the NeoLife brand so truly unique. And if you're a guest, you are most welcome because today's training session is designed to help you communicate value in a way that builds trust and a business that lasts. I'd like to start by saying that we are arguably the most caffeinated generation in history, yet many of us have never felt more exhausted. We reach for coffee, energy drinks, just more stimulants in general. But here's what actually happens when we do this: a sharp spike in alertness, followed by an equally sharp crash. We're not lacking stimulation, I think. We're riding a caffeine roller coaster that leaves us more depleted than when we started. But here's the reality I need you to understand: that there are not that many supplements that fix chronic fatigue that are caused by poor sleep or inadequate nutrition or underlying health conditions. If you're generally struggling with, say, persistent exhaustion, that's truly a conversation you could have with your doctor. So why are we talking about NeoLife tea in particular? It's because it can provide convenient, gentle energy for otherwise healthy people who need a boost without the jitters. I know there's noise in our industry, big claims, confusing information, products that promise miracles. Today, everything I share with you is backed by published science, so you can even go and verify it yourself. So my name is Connie Zindela. For those that don't know me, I'm the product manager at NeoLife Africa. And today we are obviously covering NeoLife tea. And what we'll look at is what's actually in it, what the science genuinely says about each ingredient, what you'll realistically experience when you take this product, and how to answer some of the tough questions that you get asked about this particular product. And by the end, you'll be able to share this product with confidence because you understand what it genuinely delivers and you know the science behind it. Let's get started. So let's talk about why most quick energy solutions work or don't work the way we want them to. Most of these solutions rely on high doses of caffeine, sugar, or both. You can think of it as the stimulant cycle. So, a double espresso is an example of that. An energy drink, they work fast, but they don't last. And here's what actually happens in your body. And this is a well documented science, and everybody understands this, that caffeine works by blocking what they call adenosine receptors in the brain. So we've got this adenosine, which is like a chemical that builds up through the day and makes you feel sleepy. So this happens every day, and this chemical will build up and will give you that sleepy feeling. And caffeine actually blocks it, and that's how you feel alert. But caffeine doesn't actually remove adenosine from your system, it just basically sits on top of it. So when the caffeine clears from your system, all that adenosine that you've been blocking all day rushes back all at once. And that's how you experience that crash. So we've got science that's telling us from the National Library of Medicine that caffeine begins to take effect within 15 minutes of consumption and peaks within our bloodstream, say between 30 to 60 minutes. And they talk about the half-life of caffeine being roughly between 3 to 6 hours in healthy adults, meaning that half of the caffeine that you drink, so basically all the caffeine that you drink during the day and the caffeine you particularly drink in the afternoon, will still be circulating in your system when you try to sleep. So, what are most people actually looking for when they're thinking about a drink that can give them a boost? We're looking for sustainable, stable energy, focus that doesn't feel forced, and the ability to be alert during the day and still sleep at night. And NeoLife Tea is perfectly designed to fit that goal, not by promising magic, but by delivering a moderate, well understood caffeine dose alongside quality botanical ingredients. So, what does NeoLife Tea offer? First, we've got this moderate natural caffeine. So each serving delivers approximately 30 to 60 milligrams of caffeine from a blend of tea extracts. And to put that into perspective, a standard cup of coffee contains roughly 95 milligrams. So you're getting roughly, say, one third to two-thirds of a cup of coffee. And that's enough to notice, but gentle enough to avoid the intensity most people associate with strong stimulants. Secondly, it's the convenience of this stick pack. No brewing, no waiting, no equipment. It works anywhere you have water, a direct solution for a busy lifestyle. The third thing that you'll find in NeoLife tea is this pleasant lemon honey taste. Many green tea products taste unpleasant. NeoLife made this product enjoyable because the best wellness solution is the one you actually can use consistently. The fourth thing you'll find in this product is these quality botanical ingredients. We include standardized extracts of ginseng, rhodiola, and we'll discuss this shortly, but these are included at traditional supporting doses. The fifth thing is there's no sugar load or a heavy sugar load rather. Unlike standard energy drinks that can contain 30 to 40 grams of sugar, NeoLife tea uses a small amount of low glycemic carbohydrate from fructose and honey, and I believe it's just 1 gram per serving. And this helps avoid the rapid blood sugar spike that people want to avoid and the subsequent energy dip that sugar heavy drinks cause. And the sixth thing is consistent dosing. So every single stick provides the same amount of active compounds, so no guessing, no variability, just reliable results every time. Now let's talk about the core of the formula of this tea blend. NeoLife tea contains three types of tea extracts. So green tea, black tea, and white tea. And all three of these particular teas come from the same plant, but are processed differently, which changes their chemical profile. The green tea extract is standardized to deliver something called EGCG. I'll say that again, EGCG, which is the most researched and abundant polyphenol in green tea. And what does science actually say about EGCG? So we've got a 2022 review published in Molecules that confirms that EGCG possesses anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and tissue protective properties through multiple biological pathways. So what does that mean for the NeoLife tea specifically? It means that it provides antioxidants. So we've got the tea polyphenols, particularly this EGCG that I've been mentioning, which is scientifically validated for its protective compounds. And that's a real measurable thing. Then we've got this natural caffeine that you'll get from the tea. And this is the primary source of the energy lift you will feel within 15 to 45 minutes of taking this product. And thirdly, flavor. It contributes to this refreshing profile of the drink. Now, to answer some of the questions that usually come up when we talk about the NeoLife tea is the weight loss question. So let me address it directly because people will ask you. And high quality clinical research shows that green tea has been associated with modest reductions in body weight. However, it's at significantly higher doses than what you find in our tea, and it will only take place if it's done consistently over 12 weeks. And there's another study that tells you that if you drink green tea consistently, it will reduce your BMI and waist circumference. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if someone asks, will this burn my fat or will this help me lose weight? The answer is that NeoLife tea is a functional energy tea. The green tea provides antioxidants and natural caffeine for focus. And if you're looking to support your weight goals, the foundation remains nutrition and activity. And the NeoLife tea can be the perfect tool that gives you the energy to stay active and consistent. Now let's look at the second part of the NeoLife tea blend, which is the botanical blend that you find in the tea, which is ginseng, rhodiola, and codonopsis. These are real scientifically studied herbs. However, the doses in the NeoLife tea are quite prudent. And we've got ginseng that has been one of the most studied herbs globally, with thousands of years of traditional use in Asian medicine. And one of the studies I found actually shared that those that were actually taking ginseng consistently had a statistically significant effect of using ginseng supplements on fatigue reduction. So, ginseng is highly liked for the fact that it assists in reducing fatigue. And then a separate study concluded that ginseng is a promising treatment for fatigue with a low risk of adverse events, which I think a lot of people worry about consuming products that have herbal extracts in them that they could react adversely. So, however, because I mentioned that the doses in the NeoLife tea are significantly lower, I thought it would be a good idea to share with you what were the doses that people found that did give the benefit or the result that they were looking for. So you're looking at between 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams or more of these particular blends if you are looking for those results. So, what do you say to consumers when you share this product about these particular blend? But let's focus on ginseng first. You can just say it's part of a traditional botanical blend, and we know ginseng has a long history of use and genuine scientific research behind it. And we've included this at a quality standardized extract. So the primary energy support in this particular product comes from the natural caffeine that you find in the tea. Then we've got rhodiola and codonopsis, which are classified as adaptogens. And this is a term that's used for substances that help the body resist stress without disrupting normal biological function. This is a big deal because back in 2011, there was a study that showed that rhodiola's traditional use can provide relief for things like stress, fatigue, and exhaustion. Then we've got Codonopsis that also provides 20 milligrams of this particular blend. And this is known a gentle Chinese medicine root, which is known to support energy, immune function, and resilience to stress. Then you might be asking yourself, why would we add these particular herbs at these sort of prudent doses? And I would say simply it's because quality matters and because many wellness conscious consumers appreciate knowing the real standardized botanical extracts that are present in a product, even if they provide only a supportive role rather than a therapeutic dose. And that's why it's important to have them there. So, what will you feel once you take this particular product? Firstly, you've got this gentle energy boost from approximately 30 to 60 milligrams of the natural caffeine. And that's real. That's immediate. And it kicks in within 15 to 45 minutes of consuming this product. And based on caffeine pharmacology, the effects will last roughly 2 to 4 hours, depending on your individual metabolism. The second thing is that NeoLife tea is a lighter caffeine option. If someone wants to reduce their overall caffeine intake, but still wants the functional boost, this is where the product fits in. So, what the NeoLife tea may also provide, because this is where the individual experience comes in, is that a lot of people report feeling more focused and alert beyond what caffeine alone would explain. So, could this be the botanical blend contributing at a subtle level? It's possible. Could it be the ritual of preparing and consuming this warm or cold drink? That's also possible. Could it be the individual biochemistry responding differently? And that's an absolute yes. So there's also this routine and ritual component of the NeoLife tea. And before you might dismiss it as something that's just psychological, psychological benefits are real benefits. And research in behavioral science consistently shows us that consistent routines around health behaviors improve outcomes. So if someone enjoys their daily NeoLife tea as part of their morning and it helps them to feel ready for the day, that's genuinely valuable. So when people describe the experience with NeoLife tea, a phrase that comes up consistently is, I feel awake but calm. That's a very specific and meaningful state. And here's why it makes sense. So at this particular dose that you find in NeoLife tea, you're getting enough to block those adenosine receptors that I've been talking about to notice the increased alertness, which is what we want. but not so much that you're flooding your system with stimulation. It's a moderate dose designed to sit in a functional sweet spot. Additionally, and I've mentioned this before, that NeoLife tea avoids the heavy sugar load that many energy drinks really rely on. And the result is steadier concentration over a longer period that makes it particularly useful for people who need sustained mental clarity, whether that's studying, problem solving at work, or focusing or staying focused through a long afternoon without feeling overstimulated afterward. So let's talk about who NeoLife Tea provides the most direct value to. I know there's so many more other people that this particular tea works for, but I decided to choose three profiles so that we could talk about it. So we've got the coffee alternative seeker. So this person isn't looking to quit caffeine entirely, right? They just want to avoid the crash and burn cycle that we've been talking about. And this is the perfect solution for them because it gives them a controlled caffeine dose that's roughly half of what they get from coffee. And it's a plausible, gentle transition for someone who finds coffee too intense. Then you get those that are convenience focused. And for this person, the benefit isn't just the ingredients, it's how easy it is to use. So there's no coffee run, there's no brewing equipment needed, there's no waiting. The stick pack dissolves in hot or cold water, and it's portable and consistent. Then we've got the third profile, which is like the wellness enthusiast, right? And this person already knows a lot about supplements and supplement labels, and they appreciate knowing what's in a product and why. And for them, we say that this is a blend of green, black, and white tea extracts standardized for EGCG alongside ginseng and rhodiola, real botanical ingredients in a format that actually tastes good. And that's a big deal. And they appreciate that we've shared the product in a transparent manner about the doses and what the science supports. So, the most effective wellness solutions are the ones people can actually use consistently. And NeoLife Tea was designed with real life in mind. So preparation of this product is intentionally simple. So you mix half a stick, which is approximately 1.8 grams, into approximately 250 mils of hot or cold water, stir or shake, and one stick will give you two servings, which means one box will provide 30 servings. And many people choose Neolife tea as an alternative to their second or third cup of coffee. By making that single swap, they're replacing a high caffeine boost with a moderate caffeine option that also delivers antioxidants. It also works well as a mid morning or early afternoon focus support when mental clarity matters most, and sugar based options often lead to an energy dip later. So that given that we know that caffeine has this half-life of 3 to 6 hours, consuming Neolife tea in the early to mid afternoon, so before 2 to 3 p.m., is a good practice for people who want to protect their evening sleep quality. And because Neolife tea contains naturally occurring caffeine from tea, it is not really recommended for really young children, pregnant or breastfeeding women, or individuals who are extremely sensitive to caffeine. And NeoLife tea works best as part of a solid foundation that includes adequate rest, balanced nutrition, and hydration. And when used in that context, it becomes a practical, supportive tool and not just a shortcut. So, to conclude, energy is something that you support, that you don't necessarily force. And that is the reason why NeoLife tea is an incredible product to incorporate into your wellness routine. And ultimately, at the end, NeoLife tea will provide you with steady and reliable results over time when you consume this particular product. And to close, learning doesn't end with one presentation, and neither does the support at NeoLife. NeoLife shares ongoing science-led education, product insights, and practical wellness conversations across all our official social media platforms. So these spaces are designed to help you stay informed, connected, and confident in the information that we share. So please follow, engage, and use these platforms as reliable sources. Thank you for your time.